Good morning. I'm Dr. Sarisha. Today I'm here with a topic which is very important for new graduate, any course graduate, that is resume. What is resume? What is the difference between resume and CV? Why do people suggest to write a resume in place of CV for a beginner, means for a new graduate? So let me start with the difference between resume and CV. CV is a static one. Full form of CV is curriculum vitae. It is a static one. What does static mean? Static is nothing but it has its chronological order. We cannot change anything in the CV. We have to write each and everything as per the format which is there in the curriculum vitae. But whereas resume is a dynamic one. Though it has a format, but we can change the format as per our convenience and frame our resume. That's the reason experts suggest to write a resume for new beginner, that is a beginner resume, not curriculum vitae, because a beginner may not have all the details what he can fill in the curriculum vitae. So today we will discuss how a beginner should write his resume. What are the questions you should answer in a resume? When you start writing a resume, first you should know who you are, how can you contribute to your organization, what are the capabilities and abilities you can show to develop your organization, what are your strengths, what are your hobbies, what are your interests, and a little of personal details. Along with these things, you can also write a brief personal profile of yours. So let us see the format and how we have to start a beginner resume. So first, a resume should start with the name, your contact, phone number, and the other one is your mail ID. So almost 10 points should be added in your resume. First one is your contact details. Details indicate here your name, your mail ID, and your contact number. And the second element which you should put in your resume is career objective. What is this career objective? People say, few say career objective is an optional element, which there is no need of writing this objective in a resume. But I suggest a graduate to write career objective in your resume. What do you mean by this career objective? Objective is nothing but aim. Aim in life. What is career objective? Career wise, what you want to achieve. So this is very, very important. I feel it is very important. And what are the objectives which you can put in your resume? Now you can write. So the knowledge what I gained through this, I can develop my organization. My practical exposure can be benefit to my organization. So like this, you need to put career objective. Next one is academic details. Academic details are nothing but few people also write it as educational qualifications. There's nothing wrong in writing either this or that. You can write either academic details or educational qualifications. What are the things which you should put in this and how you should write these academic details? You should write these column or you should write these academic details with the most recent degree, and you should stop these academic details with the basic degree what you have. Let me explain. If you have your academic details, like you're a BTech graduate who pursued your BTech, then you can start your academic details with BTech. Then you can write your inter or diploma or whatever the degree is. And then you can go for the most basic degree of your education, that is SSC, School of Secondary Certificate. So how you should write these academic details? As I told, you need to follow the order of the most recent to the basic. And when you write these things, how you have to write? First, let us take, if you're writing BTech or BCom, BSc, whatever it is. When you write it, don't write these educational details in the form of paragraph. Better put this in the form of bullet points, which can make the other person to feel interesting to look at your resume. So when you write your academic details, if you start with BTech degree, then write from which college you completed your degree, from which university, affiliated to which university, and what is the CGPA or aggregate. In the same way, when you do with your inter, the same college or affiliated university, and the CGPA or aggregate, and SSC. The same way you need to write your academic details. Remember one, when you write academic details, write from the most recent degree to the most basic one. And when you write those also, make sure you put in the form of bullet points, but not in the form of paragraphs. And the next point or element which you should write in your resume is about your technical skills. The present generation employers are seeking for aspiring people who can do, who are dynamic and who has more technical knowledge. So this column is very, very important for a professional student. So whatever technical skills you have, like, you have command in programming languages, big data, and if you can write like different technical skills which you acquire, if you put them in the technical column so that it can be an impressive resume. And then comes in the list of our elements what we should put: internship. What is internship? I hope all of you know, when you are doing your 4-year degree course, you get opportunity to do internships. So whatever experience you gained through that internship, whatever knowledge you have secured from that internships, you should put in that column internships. Then comes again academic projects. When you are pursuing your BTech or other degree, you in the 3rd year level for BTech students, you have 3rd year one project called mini project, and 4th year you have one more project called major project. So what is your project? What are the details of your project? You need to write minimum details about your project experience in this point, which shows or which helps the employer to identify that you have worked and you have gained practical knowledge when you are pursuing your BTech degree or any other degree. And the next column is trainings and workshops. These plays a crucial role, like how you have technical skills, because present society needs students who have technical knowledge, who have great exposure towards practical learning. So attending trainings and workshops and achieving certificates is really a good thing, a good sign for a student to project in your resume. So in your course of your education, whatever trainings and workshops you have attended, you put them under this column, trainings and workshops. Then comes achievements. Achievements. You can start these achievements from your school level in the sense, if you received the topper award, if you received in any quiz competition, if at all some central level, if they organize some competitions and you received an award in that, it doesn't mean that you need to write a top marks or topper certificate awards. If it is a worth valuable thing, your participation In that can also be an achievement. So you put under achievement column these details. Then comes next to achievements, we have extracurricular activities. Curriculum is designed by the university and colleges, where you have to study as per the menu, as per the list prescribed by the university and college. Whereas extracurricular activities, what are these? In addition to your education, if you participate in sports, music, whatever it is, and if you have great interest towards learning other things, dance, all those things you can put under extracurricular activities. You know, if you have great interest, you won so many awards in dance competitions and singing competitions, you can put all those things under extracurricular activities. If you are an NSS volunteer, if you did social service to the society, all those things you can add in extracurricular activities, which is always an asset to you to put this column in your resume. Then comes personal skills. What are personal skills? Personal skills are also equally important like technical skills. These skills highlight your overall personality, your overall, they connect your character. Personal skills um, imply that you have a good community. Under this column, you can write you are a good communicator, you are a good team leader, you have good interpersonal communication skills, you're like this, many, you are a good negotiator, you have team management skills. All these things you can put in personal skills. Then what about the other things? Uh, and after personal skills, if you are really interested, you can add two more points that they are hobbies and interests. Are these two different? Yes, I feel they are different. Hobby is an regular habitual activity which you have been doing from your childhood, whereas interest is a free time activity. Hobby, under hobby, you may have the habit of collecting stamps, collecting coins, and some may have very good habit of reading newspapers, and all these things which you have been doing from your childhood, reading good books, story books, all these things which you have been doing from your childhood, you can put them as hobbies, and which you did not stop them and still continuing them, you can make these as hobbies. And about interest, you were very busy with your hectic schedule and you are packed and you got some time, some free time. Then the things what you do in the free time can be considered, can be called as interested activities. Like few may have interest of cooking, few may have interest of listening to music, and many things, gardening, and browsing, surfing the net to find out important things. So all these columns you can add after your personal skills like hobbies and interests, which two are different again. After this, you can put personal profile. What is this personal profile? You should give a brief structure of your profile to the employer who is going to hire you. So in that you can add, in the personal profile, you can add your father's name, your mother's name, your date of birth, and languages known. What are the languages you know? And some more details, if you really feel interesting, you can add in that personal profile. Before you end the resume, you can write all the details furnished or true, and then you have to put in the right column, you have to put your name as well as signature, and then you have to go for a date and the place from where you are writing a resume. So resume is a very important document. This is a beginner's resume. In this way, if you present a beginner, if a new graduate present a resume that will be an impressive resume. So it is resume is a tool, is a selling tool which displays candidates' credentials. Credentials are nothing but credits, your capabilities, your strengths, your abilities. So when an interviewer or employer seeks, or when an employer wants to know about these qualities, first thing which he comes to know about candidates details is from your resume. So such sort of resume should be prepared well, and nowadays we have video resumes coming. Generation students, many students are coming with their video resumes. But there are students who are unable to do this basic level beginner resume. So I request all those students try this sort of beginner resume by including all these elements which can help you to get the success in making resume. If you can make a good resume, 90% of success in your interview is for sure. So all these elements which we have discussed, try to put these elements in your resume and make it a good resume. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.